Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final regular season Southside Mavericks Coaches Show. As always, joined by head coach Jeff Williams. Coach, always good to be with you.
Good to see you, Don.
Coach, Northside, Southside, Northside, Southside. It's always a great atmosphere. It was on Friday night. Packed house, emotions were high, a lot of implications from playoffs going on. It's got to be a great atmosphere to play in.
Oh, it is. It's an outstanding. It's one of the best ones I've ever been in, and this year was was really an evenly matched game. I mean, just on paper and everything else, and I know our kids are excited about playing. Northside's kids were also, and it's just a great atmosphere. A lot of people. It's the only game they come to all year, and our kids were jacked up and they were ready to go.
Well, Coach, as always in these big games, it's always a game of big plays and missed opportunities, and that was certainly true on Friday night. Northside won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. Their kick went out of bounds. It came back out to the 35-yard line. That's where we take over. We go 3 and out on 3rd and 7, and we had a drop pass in the flat. They would have been a first down that kind of got us off on the wrong foot, and 3 plays later, we're punting to Northside, and they get the ball at the 27-yard line. Not the fast start that we've been wanting.
No, we didn't start fast. And, you worry about those things going into games like that, drop balls or, not lining up or getting where you're supposed to because the emotions are so high. But, we go 3 now. We wanted to kind of establish the run a little bit and did it okay. Had some mental errors in that situation. But, we punted. Puckett makes another great punt.
Northside takes over, Coach, at their 27-yard line. First play, something we saw a lot of last week, and actually in the last couple of weeks, 9-yard screen pass. Saw a lot of screen passes then Friday night, as we did last week.
Yeah, they kind of dinked and dunked. We had one big play, and but our defense did a pretty good job of containing Deuce. Did a really good job against the run, and I was really proud of where our defense played.
They go for 9 yards on that first play, Coach. They have a keeper for 9 yards after that. They rush for 6. It's 2nd and 4. Jeremiah Van Hook gets in for a 2-yard sack. On 2nd down, they have an incomplete pass. Defense holds after the 1 first down they gave up. You got to be pleased that our side stopped them too.
Yeah, we're really pleased. I mean, we got to get adjusted to speed a little bit, but our guys did a great job containing. They flew around. It's probably the best game our defense played all year.
Well, they get off a great punt, Coach. That ball ends up being down at the 3 yards, so they pinned us pretty good where they want us. We start at that 3-yard line. We have a keeper for 7 yards. We rush for 1. It's 3rd and 2. Ricardo does what Ricardo does. He runs like a bull for 7 yards. It's 1st and 10 from the 19. Tyrese gets down the left side, Coach, 3 yards behind the DB, around the 45-yard line, and we just overthrew him.
Yeah, ran a little hitch and goal there, and he got held up. I think the referee missed it. He even admitted it. But, you get those opportunities, and hopefully we got a penalty there, but he was wide open and just barely overthrew him.
Missed opportunity for us. Come right back after that, Coach. Ricardo for 15 yards. Great seal block on the defensive end by Nathan Bogner to get him out to the edge.
Yeah, Nathan's done really well for us, and we ran a lot of two fullbacks with Darren Davenport played a lot of offense the other night, but Nathan's done a great job for us all year.
Well, that play gets us out of the hole, Coach. It's 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. After that, it fizzles a little bit. We go 3 plays. It's 4th and 6. We end up punting, and it's down at Northside's 25-yard line. Northside takes over there. They get a couple of first downs, Coach, and the defense holds again. It's turned into a defensive struggle, and the first quarter ends with no score, and Northside coming up to punt.
Yeah, that was probably the fastest first quarter we've played all year. It was kind of everybody's ball control a little bit here, taking a shot and playing defense and punting the ball. And but it first quarter, I thought, man, this thing's going by fast.
It did. It did. First play of the second quarter, Coach, is a punt by the Grizzlies. They punted. It's down at the Southside 20-yard line. We start quickly. We have that little pitch pass to Tyrese that we've been running a little bit lately for 11-yard. Tay has a tough run up the gut for 16 yards to the Southside 47-yard line. It's 3rd and 9. We have an overthrow in the left flat that gets intercepted, kind of got a little momentum in it.
Yeah, it did, and Rob won a great call by us, number one, and got a little pressure, and we got to be able to throw it away, and you talked about going into the game when it's evenly matched, those turnovers come up to be really big.
Well, on the after the interception, Coach, Ricardo made a great one-handed tackle on that thing because that thing could have gone
It could have
back
been
inside the
good,
10-yard line pretty
great effort
quickly.
by Ricardo.
Right. Northside gets the ball at the 26-yard line. We talked about soft, short fields and putting ourselves in a bad spot. Certainly we had there. It took them 5 plays, Coach, 11-yard TD run. Northside in 5 plays into the second quarter goes in at 7-0.
Yeah, you look at it and we gave them a gift again, and so that's the thing about big games or any games. When two teams are evenly matched, and you're getting this time of year where there's a lot of things at stake. You got to take care of the football, and I know nobody wants. Tay doesn't throw interceptions on purpose. He doesn't want to. Nobody feels worse about it than Tay, but we got to do a better job. And when he got some pressure, and Ricardo's great effort getting him on the ground, but with an all-star defense, we got to do a better job at sudden change. But really put our defense in a tough spot.
We did, Coach. They score at 7-0. It's been pretty even. Both teams had 2 possessions in the first quarter and ended up being a punt fest, if you will. And we give them a short field and give them an easy opportunity to score. They kick off, Coach, back to us. We return it to the 23-yard line. The first play, Tay has the keeper up the gut for 23-yard gain out to the 46-yard line. Great start on that drive. 3 rushes later, we get to the Northside 43-yard line. It's 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line, Coach. Big post play across the middle of Eric Shorts, 43 yards for the touchdown. Beautiful throw.
Yeah, and you could tell that drive, our offensive line was starting to take over a little bit. We were really running well, and Tay had some good runs, Ricardo had some good runs, but really proud of Eric Schwartz. He's come in and the last couple of weeks has played really well, and it was a big play and big moment for him. And I know it'll go down as a highlight. He called the touchdown pass Northside Southside game, but Eric's really come on, and he's a great kid. He's got a senior, has been in our program for 3 years, and he's played a lot off and on. And then once Jordan was injured, obviously he's starting quite a bit, and he's really proud of Eric.
After you've given them a short field, they got the touchdown, Coach. We go 6 plays and 77 yards. Beautiful throw, hit him right in stride. That is certainly the response that you want to have after that.
Yeah, you got to answer the bell, and then I thought we did offensively. I mean, they scored, gave them after an interception. You see the determination, the way we run the football and throwing it, and it was a great way to answer.
Coach, we kick off back to Northside after the touchdown, return to the 32-yard line. They run a couple plays. It's 3rd down and 5. Jeremiah Van Hook gets in for one of a couple of sacks in that night and knocks him down for 6 yards. Basically ends their series. They punt back to us. It rolls dead at the Southside 27-yard line. Now, something happened there, Coach. It looked like we ran into the kickers with what I thought the flag was, but the next thing we know, it's just a 5-yard penalty after the. What was the call?
Well, they called it running in the kicker. We actually blocked into it, and Mason we had a great effort right there. And if he doesn't get blocked into it, he probably blocks it. But there was a 5-yard run into the kicker, and they kind of messed it up a little bit, just declined the penalty or whatever, but they marked it off 5 yards. And the referee came to me at halftime and said he made a mistake.
Well, at least we got the ball back.
We got the ball back. I didn't care at the point. I just want to make sure we got the ball back.
We're at the 22-yard line, Coach. We get a couple of first downs. It's 3rd and 3 from our own 40. Tyrese gets behind the defense. A decent throw, just can't make the catch at the Grizzly 30-yard line. That's one of those missed opportunities we talked about earlier in the day. He was behind him. I think it goes for 6 if he catches it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And it's those missed opportunities. What you're talking about. I mean, you get in big games, you get open like that. We got to be able to execute it.
We punt after that, Coach. Northside gets the ball. It's late in the second quarter. They take a knee in the first half ends. We're tied 7-7. We've had some opportunities that we didn't take advantage of. We made some mistakes that allowed them to put points on the board. You still got to feel pretty good about where we are.
Well,
right
you
now.
feel pretty good, but some blown opportunities. We go back in there at halftime and looking at some things. We've got some good stuff. I think we can hurt them on, and we got to go out and execute it. And defensively, we're feeling really good the way we're playing, and then have to make a lot of adjustments as far as that end. We're tackling well, we're flying around on defense, we're recovering kicks really well, and you could tell, I think Northside wanted to shorten the game a little bit, and that part of it, and we'll discuss that in the second half. But you knew you weren't going to get a lot of opportunities because it's just kind of been going back and forth, and whoever can make that one big play is probably going to have an opportunity to win the football game.
It's 7-7 at the half. We talked about big plays, missed opportunities. That'll be a big part of the second half. Folks, come right back. We're going to talk about that second half in just a moment. Welcome back, folks. We're talking about the second half of the Northside Southside game on Friday night. It's 7-7 at the half. Northside has deferred and will receive the kickoff to begin the second half. Ball's kicked off, returned back to the 20-yard line. Coach, big series here. They're at the 20. They rush for 5 yards to 6 yards. It's 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Defense comes up big. 5-yard sack by Landon Chafee moves them back to 1st and 15. Immediately after that, Cole Altus and Bennett Windell get through and sack them for 15 yards. And so we are 4th in a country mile on this thing from the 31-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, we're in pretty good shape. I thought really came out and started fast. Defensive kind of went backwards, and you know, that's what you starting that first 4 minutes is a big deal.
So it's 4th down and a lot. They line up for the punt. I watched it 3 or 4 times, and I didn't see anything that looked unusual to me. But they hike it to the short guy. He scoots around the left end. The guy on the outside for them blocks pretty well. We get over there, and Coach, they turn that into a 23-yard gain and a 1st down at the 46-yard line. Great call by them, but, again, big plays.
Big play, big momentum changer. I mean, we're sitting there. We got them stopped. We're going to get good field position for the first time probably all game. And, you know, where we're supposed to be, just got to make a play. And I think they were kind of unexpected. We didn't come out and punt safe and lined up in the regular punt stuff. And you know, hearsay there, you know, I think they were trying to call it off, but it went ahead and went on and got snapped. You got to give Greg Washington a lot of credit for Northside. You know, I don't think he was expecting it either, but you know, he got around. Greg's a great player, and he got around the end, which was really a momentum shift in the game. I thought, you know, there's 1 or 2 plays where we talked about were going to happen, and it went into their favor.
A punt right there gives us that fast start that we're looking for. Well, Coach, they've got the ball at our 46-yard line. They rushed for 15 yards after that. A little shocked. Seems like they have 5 more rushes down to the Southside 14. Defense tightens up, Coach, after that shock play, and it's 4th and 4, and they knock in a 30-yard field goal and take a 10-7 lead. Extremely
proud of our defense. I mean, you know, when you have the sudden change or you have plays, you know, that unexpected, and going back out there and kind of settling back down and holding them to a field goal, you know, I couldn't be more proud of our defense.
We're hoping to get off to a fast start, as you always talk about, first 5 minutes, last 5 minutes. It's 10-7. They kick off to us. We return it to the 23-yard line. Just don't get anything going, Coach. We go 3 and out. Has a nice punt, 46-yarder, fair caught at the Grizz 28, and we've got those guys back on the field.
Yeah, I mean, our defense starting to be out there quite a bit, and 3 and outs, and we got to be able to answer the bell offensively.
They're at their Northside 28. First play is a 29-yard run up the middle to the Southside 43-yard line. We missed a tackle or 2 in that. Immediately after that, we have a 2-yard sack by Sean Rogers and Jack Hannon. An incomplete pass is 3rd down and 12 from the Mav 45, and they get a guy behind us. Looks like the safety may have bid on something else, and it's a 41-yard play, Coach, down to the 4-yard line.
Yeah, well, Jalen, you know, has played great for us all year. I think he got his eyes in the backfield, and Philly just watched on film. I hadn't talked to him yet, but I think he didn't realize how far the guy got behind him. He was kind of feeling it out, and he does a great job, you know, baiting people in, and got his eyes in the backfield a little bit, and they ran a post pattern. You got to give them. They executed it and got behind us.
Big plays.
Yep, big plays.
Big plays. 4-yard touchdown, TD touchdown rush on the next play, Coach. Not quite what we wanted to get out of that. We wanted to come out and eat some clock and put points on the board. We don't. It's 17-7. We're late in the 3rd quarter after that. They kick off back to us. We get it the touchback. It goes to our 20-yard line. First play, 5-yard sack puts us behind the chains. It's 2nd and 15. We have a guy loose across the middle, and it's an underthrow at the 35-yard line. That would have been a big play for us. It's 3rd and 15 from the 15-yard line. It's 25-yard pass to Colton, coach, to the Southside 40-yard line. Huge play for us.
Yeah, it was. Colton came up really big, and Colton's played well for us all year long, and just to keep that drive alive, great throw by Tay because they're playing coverage. Or got nickel defense in, playing with an extra safety, and Tay did a great job of throwing, been protected really well.
Well, Colton gets us out to the 40, coach. It's late in the third quarter. 3 plays later, it's 3rd down and 7 from our 43, and Colton comes up big again on an 11-yard pass that gets us 1st and 10 at the Northside 46. Colton had an outstanding second half.
He had a great second half, and he's had a great year, and he's getting more involved in the offense.
1st and 10 at the Northside 46, coach, to begin the 4th quarter. Immediately a great 25-yard run by Ricardo to the Northside 29, called back. 5-yard penalty. What happened there?
Holding. Then we held.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay. It's 1st and 16 now. The 29-yard rush comes off the board. We rush for 3 at 2nd and 13. Ricardo out of the backfield. We just have a ball that he just not able to catch. Coach at the 41-yard line. We've been a 1st down. That does not happen very often.
No, it doesn't. And Ricardo does. He's our second leading receiver, and it's been a big part of our offense. It's just it's one of those days.
Yep. It doesn't happen very often. Next play, pass slightly thrown behind Tyrese. We end up punting, coach. The good news is that we tackle them at the 4-yard line, and they've got to go 96 yards. So, that series was kind of hit and miss for us. A little bit of what we talked about: missed opportunities, big plays.
It was, and felt like I thought about going for it at that time, but I felt like we're playing really well on defense. Just kind of get them pinned down here. Maybe we'll get a stop and make them go. Make them punt us the ball. We might get it midfield, get a score. And it just didn't work out for us.
Well, it ended up being a good call, I think, Coach. They got the ball at the 7-yard line. They rush immediately for 10 yards and 13 yards for a couple of 1st downs. There's a 3-yard sack by Darren Davenport and Luke Richardson on 1st down to put them behind the chains, Coach. It's a short pass for 5 yards. And then they run a little reverse that had been sniffed out in the backfield, and it goes around the corner for a 1st down, but it gets called back. Was that blocking in the back?
I believe so, yes, sir.
Well, that ends their drive, Coach, and they end up punting back to us, and we fair catch the ball at the Northside 49. So exactly what you were saying about.
That's kind of what we were wanting, and you're kind of going, should we go for it or not during that situation? But it was better off playing great on defense. Let's get a short field and let's go. We got to go score.
We're at the 49, the Northside 49. First play, a Jeff Williams trickeration play. We run a halfback pass like to Ricardo that. I thought that the guy got on Ricardo at the very end and made him pull up a little bit. Ball was underthrown a little bit at the Northside 18-yard line. Defensive back made a nice recovery on the play, and again, a great opportunity that we missed, and it's just stuff happens.
Yeah, Colton had him beat, and Ricardo's he's really ran that play well all year long, and he can throw the football, and he got a little pressure and threw it up, but 50-50 ball with Colton McBride, I'll take it every time. And, just the kid kind of came in. Colton had both hands on it, and the guy just slid an arm in there and kind of broke it away as they were going to the ground.
Well, Colton's done a great job on 50-50 balls. As a matter of fact, Colton did a great job through the second half. So he was the right guy to go on that. So a little bit of a heartbreaker on the very next play. Colton again, ball just kind of went through his hands, Coach, at the Northside 30-yard line. It's 3rd down after that. Pass is slightly underthrown. We're going for that. It was an interception at the Northside 36-yard line.
Yeah, it's kind of what I told the reporter after the game. Their trick worked and our trick didn't, and we turned it over twice. And that's pretty much, you can sum the game up a little bit. We just couldn't get a rhythm going offensively. And they got to give them credit.
They did well. They did well, Coach. Interception at 36-yard line. It's the middle of the 4th quarter. If we get in at 17-7, that's 17-14. That's an entirely different ball game the rest of the way, and that's just, again, it's Northside, Southside,
yep.
So you can't account for that. They started their 36, Coach, after the interception, and they do exactly what they need to do. They go 11 plays, 64 yards. 8 of those were rushing plays, taking time off the clock. and they scored a touchdown to go up 23-7.
Yeah, we talked about that on sideline. They were really milking the clock and snapping it with 1 or 2 seconds left, and we've got to get off the field. Our defense was getting a little tired because there's a lot of 3 and outs and things like that. But we got to do a better job. And you got to give them credit. That was a great job for them to kind of steal the game.
It was. It was 23. They went for 2, and Jalen got in for another blocked PAT that kept it 23 instead of 24. They're going to kick off to us, Coach. It's a squibbler, return to the 32-yard line. We start immediately with an 11-yard pass to Colton. Great start, and then we have an illegal procedure penalty that gets us behind the chains.
Yeah, he walked up. One of their outside linebackers walked up late, and then our tackle, he's trying to make a call, and then they rushed the passer really well, and he kind of flinched a little bit and backed us up, and we're digging ourselves in a hole.
Well, after that, we have an 18-yard pass to Colton to the Grizzly 44-yard line. Immediately after that, we have a 7-yard sack on first down. It's 2nd and 17. Tay gets loose, Coach, on a 15-yard scramble to the Northside 36. At 3rd and 2, an 18-yard pass to Colton that gets us that first down.
Yeah, it was a great play. Colton's come up, and Tay threw a good ball.
It's 1st and 10, Coach, from the Northside 19-yard line. Have a pass into the end zone. Colton just couldn't hold on, but ended up being pass interference on that, didn't it?
Yeah, it was pass interference.
Pass interference gave us 1st and 10, or 1st and goal, rather, from the 9-yard line. 2 plays later, beautiful pass to the long corner to Tyrese for the touchdown.
Yeah, it's a staple play, and Tay read it well, and we've heard a lot of people that play on the goal line.
It was a great play.
Yeah.
Go for 2, Coach. We hit Colton right at the goal line there on him very quickly, and it was very close, but they said that the 2-point conversion was no good. The 2-point conversion would have been big. It gets us to 15, which means if we can get the ball back on an onside kick, we are a touchdound and a 2-point conversion away from
that was a real bizarre play. I mean, our whole body's in the end zone, but the ball's got to be there, and the referee was right there. You just don't see that play a lot, but we knew we had to go for 2. Try to get the onside kick, and here we go.
Well, it's 23-13 after the missed 2-point conversion. We onside kick to Northside. They do a really nice job. They're number 5 and recover on the 49-yard line. They run a couple plays, Coach, and run the clock out. The final score is Northside 23, Southside 13.
That's a very competitive game. I know it was disappointing for a lot of our fans, disappointing for a lot of our senior players and things like that, but our guys went over there and fought. I mean, there's no doubt about that, and it just kind of what we talked about. 1 or 2 or 3 plays here or there, and it could be a totally different game. But that's why you play the game, and that's why you have those 1 or 2 or 3 plays during the game. But we got to be able to bounce back this week. We got Springdale. Got to go on the road to the Springdale Bulldogs. Zach Clark and their bunch, and they've had a kind of a started really fast in the last couple weeks, kind of been a roller coaster ride for them, but they do a great job, and it should be a great atmosphere going over up there, and very familiar foe. You spend the 7A West with them, but we got to bounce back, and I know our kids will. Seniors, they want to keep playing, and it's playoff time, and this time of year it's about who wants to keep practicing, who wants to keep playing.
One of the things I enjoy about watching Southside football, Coach, is that just seems like sometimes the playoff is magical for us.
It is. It has been. It has been a lot in the past, and I expect the same thing this year. You just never know. I mean, because week to week it's a different deal because of injuries this time of year. People are hanging on, and then the teams that still want to practice. I mean, bottom line, teams that still want to improve, and I know our bunch will, and we're excited about getting an opportunity to go to Springdale.
Well, Coach, early in the season we had problems with penalties. We didn't turn the ball over very much at all in the first 3 or 4 games, I believe, and the penalties we got that taken care of. We had some special team problems. We got that taken care of, and now we're just we're having some opportunities that would really put us over the top. I really believe that if we put together 3 or 4 good games, we can do some damage.
We can. There's no doubt. I mean, our football team has improved quite a bit in different areas, and overcame some injuries and things like that. And I really love this football team. It's one of the funnest teams I've ever coached, and they care about each other. They care about the game. They care about their school, and they're just awesome to be around. But we got an opportunity. The only thing we got to be focused in is on the Springdale Bulldogs because they got big plans too. They had high hopes going into the season. It's playoff time. You can throw everything that you've done the last 10 weeks out the window. It's about what you're doing now.
Well, Coach, we're pulling for you. We're looking forward to seeing you good folks in Springdale on Friday night. Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
Folks, be sure and join us next week. We'll talk about our playoff game with Springdale.